All right, a very good evening to you. Many thanks for welcoming us on your home or in your home. This evening, a lot is in store for you tonight in as far as news is concerned. But first, let's take a look at the highlights. Kenya to observe Katiba Day annually on the 27th of August in honor of Kenya's 2010 Constitution.
Now we are consuming about 48% of our ordinary revenue is going into servicing our debts in terms of interest. That is not sustainable.
Treasury CS confirms the release of 23 billion for school capitation to ensure smooth learning across institutions.
Sisi kama wabunge na wale tunapitisha sheria yote kwa bunge, hatujaona pesa kama hiyo zimepotea. Tungetaka kuambiwa ukweli.
This is a politically instigated process.
Kiambu MCS defend Governor Wamatangi over EACC corruption claims. And government urged to fund technical students in colleges to encourage self-employment among students.
This is Kutv Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
That is right. On the sign language interpretation tonight is Naomi Omboi. Remember, this broadcast is also coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. You can also interact with us on X at KUTV_Kenya and at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, President William Ruto has proclaimed August 27 as Katiba Day to be observed annually beginning 2025 in commemoration of the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution of Kenya. In his statement dated August 25th, the head of state said the day will be marked across Kenya and in diplomatic missions abroad. Ruto explained that Katiba Day will focus on renewing the nation's commitment to constitutionalism, governance, and the rule of law. Although it will remain a working day, he directed all government institutions, counties, and schools to organize civic activities to foster constitutional awareness and citizen engagement. The president emphasized that the 15th anniversary of the Constitution presents an opportunity to reflect on Kenya's democratic journey and safeguard its ideals. And the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury, John Mbadi, has revealed that 48% of national revenue goes to debt payment. Exuding confidence in the government's fiscal trajectory, Mbadi dismissed critics of President William Ruto's regime, saying that the cost of living is neither determined in political rallies nor churches. Yusuf Abdinasir has more.
The National Treasury and Economic Planning has convened senior government officials, accounting officers, development partners, and members of the public at KICC on Monday for the launch of the financial year 2026-2027 and the medium-term budget preparation process.
Cost of living.
The Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning, John Mbadi, who addressed the attendees, revealed that 48% of national revenue is used for debt repayment. He further stated that the government has made significant efforts to save the country from defaulting. This is despite a warning by the World Bank in its Kenya Economic Update released in May, which classified the country as being at high risk of debt default.
Economic outlook has been facing challenges, mostly as a result of debt payment and debt servicing cost. That's a fact. You have been informed that now we are consuming about 48% of our ordinary revenue is going into servicing our debts in terms of interests. That is not sustainable. However, I want to tell you that the government has also done a lot to make sure that we reduce the debt risks that was facing this country, or has been facing this country.
The chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee of the National Assembly, Samuel Atandi, in his submissions emphasized the need to enhance public participation in the budget-making process, arguing that demonstrations stem from inadequate public involvement.
Honorable CS, you remember that for the last 2 financial years, there has been conflict between Parliament and the budget as tabled by National Treasury. I tend to think that if we enhance public participation better, then going forward we are not going to see conflict where the budget presented in the National Assembly is altered, or changed by members of Parliament. I think this is something that we committed to ensuring that we have a budget that is properly aligned and that there's no conflict during budget making process.
Mbadi, who dismissed critics of the Kenya Kwanza administration, stated that the drop in the inflation rate from 9.6% to 4.1%, along with the appreciation of the shilling against the dollar, reflects a reduction in the cost of living.
We also need to acknowledge and accept that a lot has happened even in the past 1 year. You'll remember that in 2022, we had inflation rates at an unimaginable percentages, 9.6%. So 9.6 has come down to 4.1. To me, clearly, that also reflects a reduction in cost of living.
All eyes are now on the Ministry of Finance to see whether next year's budget will prioritize the ordinary citizen, who for a long time has seemed burdened by financial policies and the high cost of living. Yusuf Abdinasir, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now, at the same time, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has announced that the National Treasury will release 23 billion for school capitation on Tuesday, August 26th. Speaking during the launch of the financial year, the 2026-2027 financial year and medium-term budget preparation process at KCC on Monday, Mbadi said the funds will be channeled to the Ministry of Education as directed by President William Ruto. He revealed that 17 billion will go towards basic education, 5.9 billion for examinations, and additional allocations to the Higher Education Loans Board, that is HELB. Mbadi emphasized that the government is committed to addressing a 7-year gap in capitation funding by mobilizing more resources. He affirmed that the allocations are crucial in ensuring smooth learning for school children and expanding access to higher education through HELB support.
Help National Treasury. We are going through a lot of stress. My friend there at the end, PS for special programs, will come to me when there are problems across the country. I can't let him down. Because when there is an emergency, you must respond to emergency. Interior, there will be a problem somewhere, God forbid. They will rush to come to me. We are not giving enough money for capitation. We have not been doing it for 7 years, and I have no apologies to make. We have sat with the PSS for education and the CS for education to look at that gap under the instruction of the president. And we have seen the gap. We want to get more resources to capitation so that our children can go to school. We want to give more money to Higher Education Loans Board. And by the way, tomorrow we are releasing the money. I hope, Jane, that is correct. Ashuka. Yes, PS, that is correct. We are giving the money, the 17 billion plus 5.9, which is for examination. That is 23 billion. And we should also give money, look for money for help to give this week so that our children go to school. So tomorrow, money for capitation will go to the Ministry of Education. But it is not enough.
Now, a section of Kiambu members of parliament has come out to defend Governor Kimani Wamatangi over ESCC corruption claims. Wamatangi has been going through a series of corruption cases this year. On April, his residence was raided by ESCC, retrieving 13.7 million in cash. By late August, the governor was grouped among sitting and former governors facing potential prosecution recommendations.
Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi is under investigation over a 1.27 billion tender scandal allegedly awarded through companies linked to his family during his tenure as Kiambu Senator in 2017. On April 15 this year, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission detectives raided his office and residence, seizing 13.7 million in cash and arresting several county officials, a move Wamatangi dismissed as political intimidation. By late August, he was grouped among sitting and former governors facing potential prosecution recommendations. Location Due to the pressure being piled up on Governor Wamatangi, a section of Kiambu County members of the County Assembly has defended Governor Kimani Wamatangi against corruption. Deputy Speaker and Hospital Ward MCA John Ndishu and Limuru Central MCA Nduta Wamwongi accused the anti-graft agency of being used as a political weapon to weaken Wamatangi's administration. They urged the political rivals to stop early campaigns and allow the governor to deliver on his development agenda.
Sisi kama wabunge na wale tunapitisha sheria yote kwa bunge, hatunjaona pesa kama hiyo zimepotea. Tungetaka kuambiwa ukweli. Hata ingawa ni majina inaharibiwa, wanaharibu majina ya governor ama ya MCS, sisi watukome, sisi kazi yetu tunafanya. Na tumepitisha hizo pesa zote kwa kaunti ya Kiambu na tunafanya kazi. Na ni vibaya tuwe tumempitisha pesa kwa bunge halafu sikose kufanya kazi zinawekwa siasa. So ile kitu tunaomba wale wapinzani wetu na wale tunatafuta viti na wao waache kuweka siasa kwa pesa ya kaunti.
We are trying to look at this whole scenario and there is nothing that is adding up because they are talking about $1 billion that went missing in 2017. So we're looking at it and wondering, what does it have to do with our current situation in Kiambu? And if at all that money went missing, have they just woken up and realized that there is some money missing? So when we look at it from that dimension, we feel that this is a politically instigated process and it is meant to deter us from doing our work in Kiambu County and more so to deliver to our people.
The EACC has since forwarded files recommending prosecution of 3 sitting governors, Wamatangi, Marsabit Muhammad Ali and Bomet's Hilary Bachok, over multi-million shilling graft claims, a move that underscores the agency's ongoing crackdown on county corruption. Rose Karori, KUTV.
Now, following President William Ruto's recent accusations labeling members of parliament as corrupt, the parliamentary bribery scandal debate has intensified. On the other hand, civil society have urged Kenyans and religious leaders to prioritize integrity and ethics when electing leaders, emphasizing moral values as critical foundations for sustainable governance and democracy.
President William Ruto recently intensified his anti-corruption rhetoric, accusing MPs of bribery and extortion. Ruto claimed that lawmakers demand bribes from government officials to manipulate committee reports or pass bills, sparking heated debate on integrity within parliament.
It is not possible that committees of parliament demand to be bribed, demand to be paid for them to write reports or to look the other way for what is happening in either the national government or the county government.
MPs have strongly dismissed President Ruto's corruption claims, demanding concrete evidence. Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah defended Parliament, arguing corruption is more entrenched within the executive than the legislature. Minority Leader Junet Mohammed echoed the defense, emphasizing corruption is a national challenge affecting all government arms. He urged targeting specific culprits rather than condemning the whole institution, stressing fairness, accountability, and institutional integrity.
It is not fair to condemn the House in its entirety, Honorable Speaker. We have young members like Honorable Njeri, Honorable Joseph, who just joined this house the other day, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, if there are allegations of corruption on anyone among us, everybody will carry his own cross. So there is no need of condemning the whole house as a group, Mr. Speaker.
As debate over MPs' alleged bribery intensifies, Kenya's and church leaders have been urged to vet leaders carefully. Leadership scholar Professor Joseph Nzoka, speaking in Machakos, stressed ethics in leadership and blamed poor government for underdevelopment.
Kenya yetu inahitaji viongozi ambao wako na maono ya kusaidia wananchi. Na hivyo wale viongozi ambao mnawachagua wakapate kuwawakilisha kule mbungeni, kule county, kule state house, lazima muhakikishe ya kwamba ni watu ambao wako na nia jema, nia ya kuwatumikia.
The standoff between the executive and legislature persists, with MPs urging unity and fairness, emphasizing that only through cooperation can Kenya achieve sustainable governance and foster lasting national development. Paulette Akoth, KUTV, Nairobi.
Now on that note, we're taking the very first break on the broadcast tonight. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mokwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups,
by providing the right facilities.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just
in KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. Remember to keep interacting with us on our social media platforms. We are live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. You can send us your feedback on X at KUTV_Kenya and at Anyango Sylvia KE. Now moving on, leaders allied to President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza administration have continued championing government efforts before the public, led by Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot. The leaders praised the government for resolving the long-standing Maa Forest dispute, fostering national unity and reducing the cost of higher education.
Leaders from the South Rift Valley commended the government for addressing the needs of the local community, among them environmental conservation and education. Led by the Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot, the leaders noted that the government had brought to an end a long-running dispute in the Maasai Forest.
Hatutawaachilia hawa ndugu zetu. Lazima tutembee na nyinyi. Hii kura na uchaguzi inakuja, hamwezi kukata kona. Unajua mara mingi mmekuwa mkituambia hapa Narok, sijui walikuwa mnatuambia maneno ya Mau. Sasa title ya Mau iliwekwa kwa mkono ya serikali ya kaunti ya Narok. Ni nyinyi sasa mnaamua vile. Sasa kama kuna sababu nyingine mseme mapema kabla siku ya kura. Ndio tuwatatulie. Hatutaki hii maneno ya kuachana na ati wakati ya kura inasemekana ilikuwa. Tafuteni excuse yote ile bado imebakia. Tumalize kabla siku ya kura.
Cheruiyot also lauded President Ruto's effort in uniting Kenyans and ensuring development in all corners of the county.
Kenya sasa imeungana. Kenya inazungumza sauti moja. Kenya inazungumza lugha ya kusema kila Mkenya ana haki ya kupata maendeleo pahali alipo. Si mnajua yule ambaye alikuwa anatuambia tugawe Kenya ikuwe kampuni, huyo tulifukuza. Sasa hako kichakani anahangaika, anaongea maneno mingi, hiyo pahali yako wacha kae huko. Lakini tangu aende, Kenya imeshikana, imekuwa kitu kimoja. Kila kona ya Kenya sasa itapata maendeleo vile inatakikana. Hakuna mtoto wa mgongo, kila mtoto ni wa tumbo sasa. Analishwa vile inatakikana.
During the same meeting, former Narok Governor Samuel Ole Tunai cautioned members of the Maa community against being misled by self-seeking leaders, urging them instead to support the Kenya Kwanza government administration to drive development in the region.
Leo tunaomba ya kwamba hii 27 Narok must stand to be counted kwa kura ya kupatia rais wetu Dr. William Ruto. We have to be counted this time. Simama hata sisi na nguvu tukiuliza chochote tunataka. Kama anatupatia saa hii na mnajua tu kufanya vile inatakikana 22. Hiyo ni kweli. Sasa hii 27 nataka hii hapa iwe 100%.
West Narok MP Gabriel Togoyo, for his part, applauded the Kenya Kwanza government administration for its commitment to funding higher education in the country.
Na nataka kusema as a Kenya Kwanza government, the model of the school, the university, it is in a positive trajectory. Tulikuwa na matatizo kidogo, lakini as it is for now, tumefanyia panel beating. We can promise the country and Kenyans that the university model is working and it is in positive trajectory. Hata katika budget hii yote ya Kenya Kwanza government, the education sector has been getting the lion's share.
Now moving on, as fashion and beauty trends continue to thrive in Kenya, education experts encourage students to pursue short technical courses offering faster employment. Stakeholders are now pressing government to support private colleges, learners through increased funding for skills training.
Education experts are encouraging youths to consider beauty and fashion courses for quick income. Stakeholders appeal for equal government funding in private colleges, saying skills training will empower youths and stimulate economic growth. Margaret Waithera of Uzuri Institute in Thika, Kiambu County said that Kenya's fashion industry is lucrative, urging the youths to embrace local designs over imports to grow the economy, create jobs and capitalize on growing demands.
We as a country, we need to embrace people who are now making locally made designs, locally made styles. Instead of us importing bales and bales of mitumba, we can actually employ ourselves if we equip our students, if we equip our young people to do the technical courses like in fashion and interior design. They can be able to do that such that we are now returning back to our economy without having to import from other countries. I would urge the government to invest.
John Wanjiku and Karen Nyambura said that fashion and beauty's rapid growth promises jobs and economic gains, urging the government to fund private college students with the technical training to equip skills and reduce unemployment.
I want to urge our government in Kenya to embrace the cosmetology courses and also to support our students. A lot have changed. Because nowadays you'll see most of the people, they want to be very beautiful.
My call to the government is to ask the government to embrace the technical school like the other students who is doing other courses in other schools, so that they can be able to create opportunity for the others and also to be self-employed themselves.
Students led by John Mathia and Mary Wangui pursuing technical courses in the institution cited demands, hoping for self-employment while appealing to the government for the startup capital and to invest in private institutions to create jobs and boost economy.
I would say lack of capital, maybe to start those jobs. My call to the government is that I would want to ask it to come up and help the graduates or students that have finished their education at colleges.
Nashukuru sana kwa sababu hii shule imeweza kunisaidia kupata skills za kufanya kazi in future,
na ningependa serikali iweze kutusaidia na kutupa mikopo ili tuweze kuanza kazi zetu na ili tuweze kuemploy ambao hawana kazi.
The future of Kenya's fashion sector depends on skilled youths. Hence, the stakeholders call for the government's investments in private colleges to equip students, expand opportunities, fight unemployment, and fuel long-term economic progress.
On that note, we are taking a very short break. We'll be back with sports.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Our planet's future is in our hands. However, there is a threat to the brightness of this tomorrow. On EarthCheck, we share the challenges, the solutions, and the hope.
I would call this a very momentous day, a very critical day.
Every episode, every story, every step we take creates a ripple. Join me, the environmentalist Emmanuel Kutosi, on KUTV every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and be part of EarthCheck. Welcome.
All right, welcome back. In sports tonight, Kirinyaga County has officially launched its first ever Women's Football League, marking a historic milestone for sports in the region. The league will feature 6 teams drawn from the county's 4 constituencies. County FKF Chairman Dennis Murimi announced that the winning team will advance to the Central Region playoffs, where it will face top clubs from Nyeri, Laikipia, Murang'a, and Kiambu counties. He acknowledged challenges such as high registration fees, lack of kits, and limited parental support for girls in football, calling for more government empowerment. Kenya Seeds Company chairperson Wangui Ngirishi graced the event, donating uniforms and footballs to teams while proposing the formation of the Kirinyaga Starlets to nurture female talents.
The top around 6 teams watapata uniform. Alafu napanga michuano ya vijana, mnasikia? Napanga michuano ya vijana na ninapanga michuano pia ya pande ya wanaume.
Leo tuna launch mpira ya Women County League na iko na team 6. All the constituencies are represented. At least kuna team moja kila constituency. Na after this, the best team number 1 itaweza kuproceed to playoffs. Itakuwa Central Region yenye ina consist Kirinyaga, Laikipia, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kiambu. Naye number 1 atakuwa promoted direct to division 1.
All right, now that brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for staying with us for the last 32 minutes or so. It marks the end of KUTV News at 9 on the 25th day of August 2025. Tomorrow, very early in the morning, let's meet for Biashara Tuesday, a conversation on youth involvement in technical courses or involving youths, training them on technical skills. That's the conversation we'll be having tomorrow, very early in the morning from 7 a.m. on Biashara Tuesday. That marks the end of us tonight, not the end of us, the end of the broadcast. See you next time.